Good morning, friends. Welcome back to that 1870s homestead. My name's Rachel, and we're gonna get a hot early summer kickoff. So I think it's like the first week of summer this week, and just spraying myself with some bug spray. It's like 8:30, a little later than I wanted to get out there, but yeah, like mid 90s. I have no idea what the heat index is going to be. And I don't like that kind of heat. And I know you guys down south deal with it all the time and much, much more. That's great. I'll pray for you and your life choices. But no, I kid you not. I have a lot of family in Texas, and I grew up in Louisiana, so I get it. But I'm far removed from that. So I'm going to try to get this week all my morning chores done by 10:30, and kind of just spend the day inside doing other work during the day. Like even the evenings are still going to be in the 90s, so I can't even count on that. So we're going to head out to the garden. I got to pick strawberries. Blueberry season is here. We got to pick blueberries. I need to pull out all the broccoli plants. I'm going to be doing, I didn't think I was going to. I'm going to be canning another round of my southern greens because I'm eating like a jar, sometimes 2 jars a week right now with this change in the way that we're eating. And, I need to water the garden. So let's get out there, get the work done, take you guys with me, and like always, share whatever's on my mind. Well, first we'll check the baby chickens' water and stuff. We did go ahead and put the electric netting around them. Oh, they're so cute. And because some of them are not being like super smart when it comes to going in at night, and just in case we don't make sure that they all get in at night, we have the electric. Golly, I tell you what, this thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go turn the electric fence off, and then we'll take care of their water and stuff. I'm looking, they're still good on water and food till I go get this work done, but they're looking cute. I guess I can take you in there and show you how big they're growing. And we've never done this before, where we're putting our baby meat chickens in with like a new laying hen flock, and everybody's getting along so great. They're all just absolutely adorable, doing so well. Once the meat chickens have their full feathers, they'll get their own chicken tractor, because then they'll start growing pretty fast. And we have that ready. We just haven't pulled it up here, and maybe that'll get us through this week and all this heat and having to do tractor work and stuff. And I did ask myself, because I've sold almost all my mulberry syrup at the farm stand, I definitely kept some for us because it's like a real thing that we use. And I really should get out here and harvest mulberries. It just depends how much I'm able to get done today that I need to get done. And maybe that one just waits till tomorrow. I'm not sure, because tomorrow is really going to start the worst of it all. Oh, the bee balm's in bloom. Isn't that pretty? Growing in the thyme, all the bee balm. And the yarrow's in bloom. Fun. This farm stand business, guys, is keeping me so busy. I told myself I'm a tough boss. And I work for myself, but I'm this way just naturally. It's just who I am, an achiever, and I like to do things like perfect and really, really well, and not let anyone down, and just kill it. That I'm trying hard to figure out balance right now. I can't spend all day making sure every single customer is perfectly satisfied when they show up at the farm stand. I have other things I have to do too. Like, I'm seeing my broccoli little baby side shoots bolted on me last week because I didn't get out here enough to collect them all. But guys, look at my pretty flowers. Here, I'll just set you on the table with me. And it's like you guys are right here in the garden with me, and this is my view. And you turn, and there's my pretty wheat patch. And there's tomato row. But, oh, can you guys see those bachelor's buttons? Are they coming up? So pretty. Pinks. Oh, the Clarkia is blooming. Oh, so pretty, so pretty, so pretty. The delphinium. Ah, it's a terrible week to close the farm stand. We closed this week because of the heat. I'm just uncomfortable with setting my canned goods out there in 90 plus degrees, and I don't want anyone to get a bad product. Gosh, even the calendula is blooming. Nice. Look at there. Look at there. You're grass. Get out. Yeah, so pretty. And the peppers are blooming. Tickle, tickle. If you're new to growing peppers, sometimes just going through and giving them their little flowers a little tickle helps them pollinate. Especially if it hasn't been like an overly windy time period. I did harvest a lot of kale out of my volunteer kale that was growing. But first we're gonna get our strawberries in. So let me set you guys down. You guys have done this process with me before, so I'm not gonna show it all. Strawberry patch. Rachel's gonna pick strawberries. I'll show you guys what I get when I'm done. All right, well that's my little bowl that I got. They're not crazy big or anything. So enough for a recipe or two. But I'm gonna get in this big tent and get in there and pull all these broccoli plants down, and we are going to save the leaves and make greens with it, southern style greens. So, and then freeze dry them too if I have too many. So I like to just like julienne them and then freeze dry those to add to soups, stews, smoothies for the grandbabies, whatever. But I don't think I'm going to do another video on that. I'm going to do it the exact same way. So what I'll do for you guys, if you haven't seen that video, is link to it in the description. And it's a great way to use the greens off of some of your brassica plants that you otherwise wouldn't think of using, like cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli. They all have wonderful nutritional value in them. And you don't have to like just grow, southern greens to get greens. Okay, well there are some decent side shoots. Like I'll save that and we'll just eat this. Let me break it off and show you. And we'll just cook it like broccolini. I don't mind, as long as it's not fully floured. Like, let me just try a bite. Yeah, it still tastes like broccoli. So I'm just gonna pull all those side shoots off too. And you guys can see, I believe, yep, the cabbage down here. That one's just about ready to harvest. I think I could harvest that. Let me check this other one. And that one's not quite hard. The red still has quite a ways to go. But yeah, we're gonna just pull all those out. Yeah, okay. Whew. So, I mean, I was thinking when I was picking strawberries, look how much food this is. And I wanted to tell you that I think we're too far gone from the depression era mindset that is you preserve everything, you save everything, You eat whatever's given to you and are grateful for it. And I think so many people don't even see that as food. And it's a ton of amazing food. You can saute broccoli, greens. Like I said, our favorite way is freeze drying them and then the southern style greens. So I'm going to carefully walk through here and pick all these. But have you ever seen a broccoli flower? If you haven't, they're stunning. Look at that. I think they're beautiful. And the pollinators aren't benefiting from it right now because we have it covered. But let me pick a bunch. Ooh, they're gonna fall a little bit. But how stunning. So beautiful. A bee's flying around my head right now. They don't really have much of a smell, but isn't that gorgeous? Like if you were planning a early summer wedding and you wanted to do your own flower bouquet, here's a tip. Grow yourself some broccoli and just let it go to seed. Flower. It's so beautiful. All right, I'm gonna take that in the house. Rachel, why are you not just going to get the right tool? All right, fine. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go just get the right tool for the job. This will go much easier. All right, I got my right tool. Oops, you guys keep falling off my shirt. Sorry, okay. And it's a hori, which has a saw tip to it. That is clearly dull. Come on, break you. Okay, this sucker right here is gonna get the job done with the quickness. When all else fails, break out the chainsaw. Oh, I wish I would have thought of that first. So much easier. Okay, so I think I get a lot of questions, and I'm not going to remember exactly what greens people ask about, but I feel like I've been asked the question, can I use beet greens? Can I use kale the same way? And I think the answer is yes. You can use any green. You know, you can can spinach, you can kale. It's just the texture. Why I like brassica greens is because they really hold up. You still have a lot of chew and texture to the green after pressure canning them. And because I pressure can them with like smoked ham hocks, I have to cook them a little extra longer with that meat. But guys, I still have 3 or 4 more to fit in this bucket. Hopefully I can carry it. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a lot of food. And I'm telling you what, we could feed the nation easily for free, probably, if we saw all the food that goes to waste, even in our own backyards. So, not trying to make anyone feel bad. You know, if you don't have time for it, there's been years I don't have time for it too. But if you've never thought about food that way, it's a great way to think about it. All these cabbage leaves, anything that's like overly buggy, I'm not gonna fool with. I'll just give that to the chickens. But if there's a little bug damage, you can just cut around it. And you can eat these fresh. Just boil them, get them softened, and roll them with your stuffed cabbage, you know, stuffed cabbage rolls. Roll them with your sausage and rice stuffing and make stuffed cabbage rolls. This is gonna take me forever. I'm the slowest chopper in the history of mankind. This is when it's nice when you have friends and family that do the same thing. You can just invite them all over to process something like they did in the old days. And unfortunately, I really don't. I mean, my daughter-in-law is getting into it, but she has a baby. Sometimes we don't like asking for help. Maybe as easy it was. Maybe it was easier back then too to ask for help. Okay. Oh, mercy sakes! Oh my gosh! Woo, so fun, so fun. And unfortunately, something like my southern greens I can't sell at the farm stand. But I think the last time I did it was in 2021. And it's because whenever you choose to harvest this and do this, you really can do a big batch. So I'm going to cover these cabbages back up. Okay, we did it. That's a big bucket of food. Ooh. Okay, I need the trailer. We'll leave this here. I'm not going to bother you guys with me trying to carry this in the house. I'm probably going to do it in several trips. I've got a few more baskets out here I can put the greens in. But let's get our other bowl and head over to the blueberries. Hi. Are you guys all happy this morning? It's going to be a hot day. Yeah. It's going to be a really hot day. Bring you guys down eye level with them. Let's say hi, pigs. It's your subscriber people. It's your friends on YouTube. They like you. They think you're cute. Yeah. Got the pigs all done. We'll take the hose in, hook it up. In my last video, I did just a comment section on how I water my garden, and I just use an overhead oscillating sprinkler system set up in the middle of the garden, and it does a really good job. But me and the pigs share the hose, so that's kind of the one hassle of my watering. But I only have to do it every 2 years because we only raise pigs every 2 years. I got all the broccoli and cabbage out, and unfortunately they're sitting right under the mulberry tree right now. So I need to get those moved as soon as I get this hooked up. Oh, I need to fertilize the onions, darn it. Oh. So when I initially grow onions, they get nitrogen, till they really start bulbing up. And then I switch to bone meal, like every 2 weeks on a cycle until it's harvest time. And I've got easily tennis ball size onions. With some of them, I won't say all of them, but they're already tennis ball size for the majority. Let's try it. Yep. Okay, we'll let that water for 2 hours. I'm gonna carry these broccoli up to the house, and I'll be back with you guys in a little bit. Okay, we have our bone meal, and why did I turn on the sprinkler, Rachel? So try not to laugh too hard. We are going to run in there between the sprinkles. And this is what I love, Down to Earth brand. Favorite fertilizer. And we use it for different fertilizers, the brand. So we have a acid-loving one for our blueberries. We have the BioLive, which is just a really good all-purpose fertilizer. And this is the bone meal. And when you pick up a fertilizer, you should recognize it. It's like crushed bones. And this goes to all the onion beds. So I think we're almost there. I'm gonna follow it back around and turn it off. All right, only the arm got wet. Ooh, I left my chainsaw out here. Sorry, Todd. All right, so just sprinkling this in pretty good around all these onions. That watering will water it in really well. Take it down. The carrots are gonna benefit from this. Basically, any root crop will benefit from bone meal. And I'll probably get 2 to 3 cycles of this bone meal in on these onions. But I got that early summer onion to show you. It's a nice size onion for this early in the season. I mean, great onion. Let's count its leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 rings. That's how many circles, are in your onion. So you get that from feeding the nitrogen, right? The nitrogen at the beginning of the season is making all the leaves. But the rings, and I learned this from old Alabama gardener, sweet old man, he's gone on to heaven now. But his YouTube channel is still out there if you want to watch his onion videos. But that won't necessarily determine the thickness of those rings. To get then the thick slices, those big chunky onion ring quality onion slices, that's when they need the bone meal. So once they start bulbing up, and I probably should have done this 2 weeks ago, bone meal. Early in the season, nitrogen. So, all right, I did check the time when I was in the house, and it is, I forgot to turn the sprinkler back on. I'm trying to get so much done so fast, and I need to get the chainsaw. 1 second. And I forgot the chicken's cabbage. Okay, so let me just set this here. We got to go get the blueberries then. But I was saying, I was in the house, and I checked the time, putting all that broccoli stuff away, and it's 10 o'clock, probably a little after now. And I wanted to be done by 10:30. So, just depends how many blueberries there are to be picked. I'm so nervous every time I hear one of those little piggies cough. It kind of sounds like something's stuck in their throat, like as a human. I heard it the other day. I was like, I think they're just eating grass though. Because we had a pig, we didn't know what that sound was. And we, as new homesteaders, you're gonna come across things raising animals for the first time that sometimes you just have to learn, unfortunately, a very, very hard lesson. And for us, we lost a pig 2 weeks before harvest to pneumonia. And it's because we didn't know how to recognize the sound of a pig coughing. Now that I know it, it makes me nervous. And it happened so very fast. Like, it was coughing one day, and 2 days later, she was passed away. So I was like, what are they doing? Okay, it's probably just a piece of grass stuck in their throats. They're eating, they're happy, they're running around, they're playing, they're fine. So, right here is our blueberry row. Just beautiful, tall blueberries. And we came out and did our first picking the other night and got nearly 2 full quarts. And we've gotten so many questions from that Facebook post, like, what's the secret? Because folks are struggling with growing blueberries. And I would almost say there's almost too many secrets. I think first and foremost is acidic soil. So they have to be growing in an environment that they want to grow in. And we're fortunate here that we have, I would say, neutral soil to acidic soil. And so we do fertilize every March we're in southeast Michigan, every early March, usually by the second week. I try to have it done by March 15th, fertilized with the acidic fertilizer. This year, Todd amended the beds for the first time ever with sulfur. And I think I can see a huge difference in the new growth on the bushes. I won't say I see that big of a difference in the output of berries or anything like that. Just the overall health of the plant looks good. I think that those are the two primary things. It's all about the soil health and having good conditions that they want to grow in. So when we first started doing it, we just tilled the native soil. We planted them in peat moss in the native soil, mixed back in with the acidic fertilizer. And if you have an acidic fertilizer for something like, say you're growing azaleas on your property or rhododendron, you can use that same fertilizer for blueberries. It's basically the same thing. And what was I going to say? Oh, another common question we get was people notice we don't have these covered with bird netting. Now, we have had to do that before. And every year we just say, kind of make the decision, do we need to cover them? And this year we don't. But why don't we? And because, as you can see, we live on 7 acres of just, basically a wildlife sanctuary, we call our property, because it's just filled with birds and squirrels and raccoons and deer, and none of it's fenced in. But what we are fortunate with on our property that we learned is an old timer's trick, and we've told this story before, so if you've heard it, you can skip past it, is that we have no less than 7 very mature mulberry trees on our property. And the old timers would plant mulberry trees to keep the birds away from their crops, whether it was out of their garden or anything. And I've never had bird pressure in my garden other than early spring when birds would pluck onions up. But they don't go after any of like my tomatoes or anything like that. And it's the mulberries. They much prefer mulberries to anything else ripening right now. And in the past we had our cherry tree at the same time, and since our cherry tree has died, so cherries and blueberries harvest at the same time, and they never bothered our cherry trees. So my advice is get you whatever is native in your area for your birds to eat and plant it. And you're going to see a huge benefit just from having another crop that a bird prefers over something that they have to go look for. And the mulberries are just on the ground. They can gladly have their fill. So I'm going to stop talking and get this blueberry picking job done. But we get asked, what kind of blueberries do we have? Good ones. Good ones. I don't remember all the names, honestly. Todd's that guy. And I think he doesn't even remember all the ones that we have. So I know this one is a lemonade. And it gets the big, big, fat blueberries. It's not quite ripe yet, but like almost the dime size to nickel size blueberries. And I believe that we have like I keep wanting to call it a Norland, but I think that that's a variety of apple or pear, but it's like a northern high bush or a New Jersey. I'm not sure what they are, honestly, but they're good. We started with 12. We have 8 still living from that original planting. Now 8 years ago, it was 2017. And is that 8 years ago? 7 years ago. And then we have planted since a few babies, and a couple of those have died. I think we know the reason. We have a walnut growing nearby, and we need to take that walnut out. So I'm gonna pick. I'll show you at the end what we all got, and thanks for coming with me on just a beautiful morning, managing everything before the heat gets us. All right, just doing one more walk back through, and we have easily, get in there, probably another 2 quarts or so of blueberries. So I'm gonna put these in the house. And yesterday was Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all of you out there. And I asked Todd, in the past, tradition would have been blueberry pancakes with the first blueberry harvest. Did he want blueberry pancakes for Father's Day? And he passed, so we had fresh blueberry yogurt, Greek yogurt parfaits, and they were really yummy. But I haven't had breakfast, and it's nearly lunchtime, so I think I will make myself some protein blueberry pancakes with almond flour and some egg and some Greek yogurt, and I'll feel good about myself. So thanks guys for coming with me on just a big morning of getting stuff done around the farm, and I think now is time to water these baby chickens. So one last job, but I won't bore you guys with that, and I'll see you on the next video. Happy growing, happy gardening where you are.